As we approach Christmas and holidays, I know that lots of people get really stressed. So, can we talk about coping with Christmas? It's funny, it's not something I
Gabby,
relate to particularly. I've never really had that issue in my family. Probably Christmas was never terribly stressful, but I do know that it's a really significant issue in lots of families and people can dread Christmas. I imagine that that can be even worse if you're highly sensitive, especially if you have a difficult past history with your family. So, how can people be better prepared for that special Christmas stress?
okay, so we've got to think about confrontation. So as soon as we think about going home for Christmas sometimes or wherever we're going to be, immediately you can almost feel, well, for us men who've got hair on our backs, you can almost feel the hairs go up or on the back of your leg. It's like we get highly oversensitive and our reactions are already going because we have what is basically it's like a cellular memory, but it's also like muscle memory. It's like we've already predetermined how the whole thing's going to come out, which in a way is saying, well, we're not really open to, even though we've done a lot of work, we think, no one else has changed, so it's going to be shit. Or we're expecting that confrontation. Now, remember, heaps of you have done so much work, and because you've done all that work, what are you doing? You're emitting neutral energy. Neutral energy allows different conversations to go on that haven't gone on for a long, long time. Okay. So
I have an example, actually. Can I share an example?
yeah, go for it.
Um, One of our joint clients recently, she went back to her very large family. She's one of something like nine.
Mhm.
They were children once. They're well away from being children now, but nine brothers and sisters, something like that. And she says that normally it's a really challenging time. And when she went to Thanksgiving this year, she said it was a completely different experience for her, and she knew that it was because of the work that she'd done around her energy. So it's definitely true what you're saying.
It is. And because we have certain versions of confrontation that we think are going to basically arise, but also think of confrontation as not always being a bad thing. Think of it in a totally different way. It means that
Yeah.
sometimes energy that was once over positive or over negative, what neutral energy does is it basically detunes it and allows a completely and absolutely different conversation to go on, so that it's like where there was once confrontation, yes, you still need to have talk about certain things, but you can talk about it in a totally different way. And even things that really you just want to get up with a grab the nearest guitar and hit them over the head with a frying pan. It's like, oh, okay, they're not really pissing me off this time. I don't really want to kill them.
So what is it about this highly sensitive thing and wanting to kill people? That's a little bit not very sensitive.
I
I don't want to
know.
get distracted, but I notice this reaction comes up in you quite often.
only because only because um, I mean, so many people talk to me about it all the time. It's like that's their reaction, and that's very modest compared to what some people are telling me, honestly. So um, I'm lucky that my family, I don't ever really, really want to kill anybody in my family. I've got a great family. Um, and it's always been, it's always a celebration, not not you're looking for conflict, you want to go and kill somebody. But having said that, I talk to so many people every week, and over so many years, that's been a lot of people's general consensus that they really aren't looking forward to Christmas, which is a bit of a pity, really. But as you said, so many people have had so many vast changes, and so I'm just getting rid of the really one that everyone's used to, and let's get on to the one that they aren't used to, and that be open to change, because so many of you have done a lot of work, and you will have noticed a lot of changes that are just going around your immediate family. Well, hey, it goes to everybody, and bit by bit, I'm pretty sure you will have had a bit of a conversation, even with some people who you're used to having a little bit of conflict with, maybe. But even when you had that conversation, it might have been a lot easier, and think, oh yeah, well, wait till we get to there in the flesh. But the same thing applies, give yourselves a little bit of leeway, because maybe they're expecting the same thing too. So it's like,
Yeah.
you're all having different, like, I've had so many people over so many years, and they've been going to family reunions where, oh, I don't really want to go. I said, look, go, and you're going to have a good time. And I've had so many in absolutely hilarious phone calls later on about all the stuff that's gone on, and people who were just in so much conflict, and they've said they've never laughed so much with their family in all their life. And it's just reassuring to know that this is why we do what we do, and that's why we put in all the hard work,
Yeah.
and that's why we do.
But there's something important to realize in there, is that it can look like everybody else is the nightmare, and you're the quiet, sensitive one. But very often you have kind of nightmare energy inside you. That this isn't a blame thing, but your energy is a part of it too. And what's very empowering about that is that when you change your energy, it actually creates space for everyone else to behave differently as well. So you don't have to control them or make them be nice. When you actually shift your own energy, it's really interesting how other people respond around you. And I've seen that. It's 32 years or whatever since I first started learning about energy and all of this stuff. And from day one, I've heard reports of people with their family where the family dynamic has shifted dramatically. So it is just literally the principle: when you change your energy, other people change around you, and that's really the essence of what we're talking about here.
The other thing is, highly sensitive people often think, oh yes, we're all meek and mild. Well, we aren't. We're also extroverts.
David, could you say that? Can you say that again? We lost you.
Yeah, a lot of people often think that highly sensitive people are all meek and mild, we're all quiet, we don't say very much. Well, I've got to tell you, all of our lot are all highly sensitive, and we've all got a lot to say. And that's more the norm, like highly sensitive. Just because you're highly sensitive doesn't mean that you're reclusive. It means that you've often got a lot to say, and you have a lot of different expressions. Just because someone else's expressions is their way, well, sometimes you just got to let it be. But often your energy has a way of it's immersive. Okay. Neutral energy is so immersive, and it just slowly seeps in. It's like I could say the silent assassin, but it might be the wrong way. But all I mean is the part where certain trigger points, your energy goes through and it hits those trigger points way before they're ready to trigger. So just remember, when we're using neutral energy, you're going before all the trigger points that people are usually ready to react or respond to. So it's like those big trigger points where somebody has really, it's not so much baiting points, but there's certain trigger points that set everybody off, and you're not even really doing anything, or they're doing anything. It's just that they arrive. So it's also the culmination of lots and lots of trigger points when loads and loads of people get together. So what you're doing is you're neutralizing all these trigger points, and it just allows a lot of different conversations to go through. And then all of a sudden, you're having a completely different conversation with with everybody who's going on, which means that a lot of love gets shared, a lot of intuition
So are
gets
you
shared.
saying that when you're are you saying that when you have neutral energy, it's almost like your energy gets there first before the trigger point and kind of neutralizes it before it flares up?
Yeah, it does. And because a lot of trigger points generally, especially when you're in a room with a lot of people who are used to a lot of usual trigger points, it gets to them way before, because neutral energy is basically like a preparer. Yeah, like the Boy Scout. You're making sure everything is always done in advance. And I think for highly sensitive people,
Yeah, I get that. I
highly
experience that.
sensitive people are preparers anyway. We don't like surprises. We make sure that everybody's got everything always in place before everybody comes. You know, everything's here, everything's ready. Hey, you beauty. And we're never going to ever run out of food. My God, we've got enough to feed the army. So
please don't say that. I think that's very true. So I've just been shopping this morning. Please, so if somebody's actually rather dreading Christmas and they're not quite sure if their energy's neutral enough yet, maybe is there anything that you can share or just to help them a little bit?
The best thing is do those grounding exercise that we've all shared. So what we're going to do is imagine you've just done your grounding exercises, right? And we'll go from there. Yeah. Or actually, we'll redo the grounding, but we'll just do it sitting down. So we'll put our hands on the side of our legs, and we'll just wait for all that energy to actually activate. Nice and easy. Because this is going out to so many thousands of people, we've got to wait for the energy to activate and move and share. That's it. And we're nearly there. So you might feel now with your hands, even sitting down, you'll feel like you're moving forward. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Put your hands underneath your legs, please. That's it. And we're still moving. We're opening up loads and loads of different variations of neutral energy and living life energy, because we need to interpret it. We need to rejoice it, sense it, live it. 1, 2, 3. Hands to inside your legs, please. And we're also opening how to reproduce what is really needed. It means that we're asking for harmony, a generosity of appreciation among absolutely everybody. Remember, this goes out to all your neighbours as well, yeah? Because a lot of us, we all interact with all our great neighbours that we have in our neighbourhood, yeah? And we're just going forward now. 1, 2, 3. Hands to the front of your legs.
Kind of on top of your legs when you're sitting down, yeah?
Yeah, top of your legs as you're sitting down. Now, some of you may have noticed that you become a little bit, there's a lot of energy in your back that is just beginning to become ultra flexible. It might feel almost in a fluid manner. And it's moving all the way through. So as this flexibility comes through even more and more, we're generating power into the flexibility of yourself. That's it, starting to come through. And you may notice at the same time, with your eyes closed, that you're moving in an elevator and coming up, because you're bringing this ultra flexible energy back. Means that we have ultra compassion, realizations that absolutely everybody in your life is just doing the best that they can do. And that everybody really does have a generosity of self to share. Hands back to that prayer position, please. And straight to your hips. I know we generally go straight to hips, but there's an extra prayer position in there to lock in extra generosities over this period of time. Now we'll go back to prayer position. And a lot of deeper intuition and instinct is coming out. Just to embrace loads and loads of different areas of self. We'll now move straight to shoulders, crossed over, please. And the opposite way. Back to a prayer position. We're going to point into our shoulders. Back to a prayer. We're going to dump forward. Dump behind.
I'm just gonna say for people maybe who haven't done it before, so your hands are facing towards the computer when you dump forward.
Correct. We're dumping behind.
You turn your hands to face the back. There you can see David.
Yeah. And then bring our hands straight back to a prayer position. We'll clasp our hands on our chest. Then we just bring our hands roughly 4 or 5 inches away from our chest and hold it here for just a few moments. Just move your arms left and right 3 times. And then hold still. Now, very slowly, we move our hands all the way down until they're right in front of our navel. When you get in front of your navel, push those hands out as far as you can go with the palm still facing towards you. Now slowly bring those hands back in. Right all the way to right on your navel, please. And we're starting to generate a whole new type of energy through our whole body, nice and gently. Hands under your armpits, please. Now your eyes will roll forward so that you're asking for new opportunities. So for those who are highly sensitive, you'll fairly well quickly sense your eyes rolling forward. So we aren't going back into old conflicts. Arms the other way, please. Cross them the other way, nice and easy. It also means that we're waking up new potentials to happen. Yeah. Back to a normal prayer position. Then we hold our hands, we cross our arms again, we hold our hands more or less over our biceps here. A lot of you may feel bits and pieces inside you just shift and move. So we don't react and respond the same old way that we used to. Arms the other way, please. Back to a prayer position. Back to chest, clasp on the chest. Hands back to a prayer position. Hold it here. You may notice that you're in an elevator coming back up. Nice and easy. Slowly open your eyes, but hold that prayer position. Close your eyes again. Open your eyes again, please. And close. Open your eyes again. And close. Just put your hands on the front of your knees, please. We're grounding that through all types of energies. Hands back to a prayer position. Open your eyes and we're done. It might just seem like we've done a lot of the usual things, but there's a lot of different energies in that, because basically when we're on something like this, we get a lot of help. Okay. We have a lot of different energies, a lot of.
So is that?
Sorry.
Is that something that people can do each day during the Christmas period? It's like instead of their grounding in the morning?
You don't really need to do it every day. It's more like before everybody turns up, maybe do it once or twice. That's it, all done.
Okay, wonderful. And beyond that, normal grounding?
Just normal, yep. It's only done for a couple of days before Christmas. And it's like just doing a little preparation, because you're bringing that energy into your house. Yeah. That neutral energy that disarms everything, all those triggers that usually go on. Yeah. It just allows all those triggers to be just sort of neutralized. And a lot of joy just to be just spent in your home, because it's the best time of year. Let's enjoy it.
Perfect. Well, I think we can now cope with Christmas. Got it sorted. Thank you very much.
Enjoy your Christmas, everybody. Many happy regards to all your family. Have a nice time. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you.